Hello and welcome to the GSMC Fitness Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. My name is Sarah. I'm one of the hosts here at the GSMC Podcast Network, and something that's always fascinated me about fitness is the different trends, the different, the history of fitness, if you will. I was a history major in college, and so I'm always fascinated at how things evolve and how they come about. I also host the book review podcast, and if you read like Victorian novels that are set in the Victorian era, maybe you're a fan of Pride and Prejudice or Jane Eyre or some such, or maybe you've read books that are historical fiction but are set in that era. The women during parties or during the course of the novel are always taking a turn. They're always walking together around the room, or they go outside for walks. And walking is a huge part of their fitness regime. Sometimes it's horseback riding, but that's more for the men. And then if you think about, other eras, obviously jumping from the Victorian era up to, let's say the 80s. And do you remember, or if you were not alive then, have you seen pictures of the incredibly crazy tights and leotard outfits that we had in the 80s that we did aerobics in? Very, very high-legged leotards and often tights and leg warmers. Very colorful. Headbands too. Headbands, wristbands. Yeah, it was almost more about the outfit than it was about the workout. But that was when we had aerobics, and there were different types of aerobics. Then there came step aerobics. I remember that craze kind of happening in the 90s. I actually took a step aerobics class in college, if you can believe it. Now we have things like Zumba and dancing. There's been, also in the 90s or maybe early 2000s, there was kickboxing. There are so many different fitness trends, and they sometimes come and go. But the fun thing about all of these fitness trends or fitness crazes is that there's really something out there for everyone. Maybe you see yourself more as someone from the Victorian era, and you really just want to walk. And so that is your fitness preference. Or maybe you are a hardcore weightlifter. Maybe that is what you prefer to do. Maybe you're somewhere in the middle and you like some cardio, you like some lifting. Whatever it is, chances are good you are going to hear about it here on the Fitness Podcast. We are going to talk about latest trends. We're going to talk about safety concerns and things to be aware of in terms of those trends. Should you jump on the bandwagon of the latest fitness trend? Why or why not? We'll talk about all of those things, and we hope that you will join us here for the GSMC Fitness Podcast.